Hey, Spence C, it's January the 25th, 2025, and this is the three biggest mistakes I see musicians and artists over 40 make when using social media. My name's Spence C, I'm a musician and entrepreneur, and 2025 for me is the year of consistency. I'm doing daily uploads and sharing my experiences, my wins, my losses, and the things I've learned along the way with my 25 years plus in the music industry. So without further ado, let's get into the most serious part of the video, which is drinking water. Now, if you've been watching these videos, you'll know that I've been also trying to stay healthier, and one big part of that is drinking more water. So I'm using this video as an excuse to stay consistent with my water as well as my uploading. So if you want to join me with this, you know what to do. Press pause, go and get your drink, come back, let's drink, let's do this together. Here we go. Salute. It's about a litre of water. It's cold. Lovely. So let's get into it. So these videos are, if you are over 40, if you're over 50 and a musician, you're an artist, maybe you're just a creative type, then these are for you. Because that's me. I'm over 50. I'm almost 52. And so I think things are slightly different when you get to this age, like middle age. The mindset's slightly different because, I grew up I was born in 1973, grew up as a child in late 70s, early 80s. And, technology was very in its infancy right then. So I grew up with a very different mindset to Gen Zs who grow up kind of already programmed into how to use stuff and how to use social media and things like that. So although I'm learning, I think I've learned quite well. I know I can see other people struggling with it, and I've struggled with it for a long time. So the three biggest mistakes that I see musicians, especially over 40, make with social media. So the number one is chasing virality. Now, this is a big one, isn't it? Because a lot of people, when they come onto social media, especially older people, they think that everything they do has to blow up and get millions of views. Otherwise, there's no point. It's a bit like the mentality when back in the day of people, and again, this is my experience, might not be yours. Grew up in Britain, and people would kind of think if you're a musician or you're in a band or something, they would say, "Oh, when are you on Top of the Pops?" Now, Top of the Pops was the biggest, the number one music show that happened weekly, and everyone would gather around the TV and watch the countdown and see what was number one. It was massive. You'd get millions of views, and everyone. That was the sort of the holy grail to get to Top of the Pops was you'd made it, right? And so people would say, "Oh, when you on Top of the Pops?" Sometimes jokingly, sometimes seriously. And that mindset is like you're either on Top of the Pops or you're wasting your time. That was the kind of attitude. And it's a bit like that with social media, isn't it? Especially, again, if you're sort of over 40, people think, "Oh, well, I've got to get viral. I've got to get millions of hits. I've got to get thousands of streams, all this kind of stuff, or otherwise there's no point." And then people, obviously, what follows that is major disappointment because it's an anomaly. It's a bit of a lottery as to what goes viral and what doesn't. You might get lucky and get a viral hit, but we know now that that's not what it's all about anyway. Even if you do get a viral thing, it'll largely be by accident, and the chances of replicating that are going to be very slim if you don't know what you're doing in the first place. So that would be the number one mistake I see musicians and artists making, is that you have to go viral every day. No, you don't. That's today's world. You don't have to. Back in the day, maybe it was a lot easier to do that when YouTube first started and Facebook and everything, and the reach was huge and not many people were on there. Then it was probably easier to go viral. But now everything's settled down and it's a much more saturated thing. The algorithms much more sophisticated, and so to get that kind of virality, you need a lot of skill. You need a lot of expertise to do it consistently. So the mindset should be that use social media as a shop window. That's what it is. Okay, you're displaying your wares, if you like. If you're a musician, obviously your music. If you're an artist, your music, or if you're just creating stuff, whatever it is, sculptures or art or um, performances, whatever you're performing, whatever you're doing, then it's a shop window for that. And if people start looking in that shop window, if you keep that shop window open long enough, people will start to talk about it and refer people. Oh, have you seen that guy? Have you seen this guy do that and that? And then eventually, the more you put out there, the more it gradually builds up. And then when people do find you, you've got a body of work that people can then go back and look into. So that's the other thing with chasing virality. It's like if you give up, which you inevitably will if you think every video's got to go viral. If you give up too soon, then even if you do go viral, people will find that video and really like it. And then they'll go, what's the first thing you do when you see something viral? What's the first thing I do? I go and look at what else they've done. And if I go back and I just find like 3 or 4 videos, then even if I enjoyed that viral video, I'm not going to be a fan of that person. There's nothing to keep me coming back. Do you get what I mean? So it makes more sense to just forget about virality and pay attention to the numbers. Of course, I'm not saying ignore that. Look at the data. Look at how you can improve the stats on the video, but go for small incremental improvements over time. Don't go for these expect massive jumps. And then as you do that, the journey becomes more pleasant because you're not expecting everything to go viral. It's a nice, pleasant surprise when you get some comments or you get some new subscribers. It's a little boost, and you go, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." Not like, "Oh, only 10 or only 100." So it's just a mindset shift. So once you've got to that, and then over time you'll have a body of work. So if you do hit, and inevitably you will, one video, it's just a matter of time, isn't it? If you keep putting stuff out there, eventually you'll get something that blows up. It might not be millions, but it might be a lot more than you expect. And then it will have a knock-on effect because people go and look back at your old content, and that will start to get some love as well. So that's the number one problem, mistake I see, and obviously that's the solution. So number 2 is not, it kind of ties into this. Number 2 is not having a plan. I see so many people when they first start, and I've done this myself. I've done all these mistakes myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but you learn as you go. And it's so easy to just go, oh, just post. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think have that mindset of just post something, put it out there. I think that is a beginning mindset, but I don't think that mindset serves you to keep that going. If you just go, I'm just going to throw something out there without any thought, and that's your mindset continually, then you're going to be posting stuff that isn't, it's just random, right? And again, you might hit 1 or 2 subjects that go, oh yeah, this is good. But if you keep posting random stuff, confuses the algorithm, it confuses your audience, and you're not going to really get anywhere. You're going to get frustrated and give up. That's what happens. So yes, just go, yeah, I'm just going to post. But the missing part of that is, first of all, know what you're going to post. And it's important to have pillars of content. So for example, my pillars of content, I am a musician, over 40, and talking about music and music marketing. So they are my pillars. So I'll be talking about this, like these mistakes that I see making. I'll be talking about experiences that I've had with live music, how I started busking, that's another one, playing live gigs, making money from music, how I've marketed music in the past, how I've got free PR. If you look at all these videos on my channel, this is what you'll see, these kind of subjects. And I'll return to these subjects with different slants on them, different angles, but I'll be saying the same thing, but in different ways, okay? And if you look at any successful social media channel, you will see exactly this. They're not doing something different every day. Yes, it might be a different kind of, it's a different topic, but it's in the same pillar. And you'll see this time and again. Even the most successful channels you can think of, like Mr. Beast, for example, he's not doing you know, documentaries one day and, you know, fun stuff the next, and doing like pop videos the next day. All of his videos are the same. They're entertainment. They're, you know, put your hand on that last one to take the hand off the car thing. All these kind of challenges for money. It's the same idea, but just slightly different themes every day. And you'll see that with every channel, every TV channel, anything. It's exactly the same. And that's what makes it easier. So once you've got a format, and this is what I'm trying to do with these videos, you know, keep them, and I'm going over 10 minutes now, but keep them relatively short. They're live, they're raw, but I'll have a theme, which is something that I can speak about without any script, off the top of my dome, for 20, 30 minutes or more, you know, and that's my pillars, you know. And so it's about music marketing, it's about being over 40. Also, I'll occasionally put things, you know, spiritual things in there, and things about recovery, as I've, you know, recovering from addiction. You know, all these kind of pillars and all these kind of things, I'll just keep saying the same thing around it, but different angles, different stories. So that's the second thing. Have a plan and then post. Get the plan first. Number three is a lot of mistakes. A big mistake I see people making is they don't have a call to action. They're doing these videos, but they're not then asking the viewer to do something. So for example, I'm going to ask you now to like this video if you're getting something from it, to share it with somebody if you think they want to hear it, and please subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to grow this as big as it'll go. And thank you very much if you've already subscribed, and thank you for the people who've shared these videos, because I see in the data, the analytics, a lot of people sharing these videos, which is great. And of course, comment down below if you are if you're over 40 and you're using social media. Comment down below. Let me know if there's a topic that you want me to talk about within this kind of pillar. So there you go. That's the call to action. The other call to action I'm going to ask you to do is to sign up to my newsletter, which, you know, social media is great. YouTube is brilliant. All these things are great. Free to get out there, get your voice out there and to connect with people all over the world. Fantastic. How amazing is that? But what I would like to do is to have my own list of people that I can contact via email if YouTube suddenly disappears tomorrow, okay? So if you want to sign up to my newsletter, I talk more in depth about these things. I'll let you share stuff that I don't do these videos about my own life. And it comes out every Friday. So if you want to sign up to the newsletter, I'll put the link in the comments down below, and it will be great to see you on there. And so they are the three biggest mistakes I see musicians over 40 make. And so that is the first one, expecting everything to go viral. Second one, posting without a plan. And the third, not having any calls to action. So with that said, thank you for listening. And remember that rejection is just correction. Ridicule is fuel. And most importantly, resilience leads to brilliance. And I'll see you tomorrow.